तमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Earlier, in the context of creation, we had seen in stanzas 74, 75 and 76 that Ishvara was alone and could not rejoice. So he thought of what is called as Srishti Kriya, and without finding any material whatsoever other than oneself, considered oneself as the material cause. Thereafterward, so what did the Sankalpa? Bahusyam ahamevatra, 76. I shall become many, in terms of Srishti, the Jagat. Here certain doubts are possible. Ishvaraha na aramata, 74. Na aramata, did not rejoice. Before that, what did he do? That is pra ekaha eva saha. He was alone, means he found that he is alone, and therefore he didn't rejoice. Further, he considered of Srishti Krida, and also without finding any other material, thought of himself as a material cause. All these, from our standpoint, need antakarana. I am alone. How do you know? Antakarana. Therefore, so let me start some game, or let me take to sports. And you are building that way, antakarana. Again, what means that you think of antakarana? Sankalpa, let me become many, antakarana. Now, where did Ishvara get antakarana before creation? Antakarana is constituted of Panchamahabhutas, apanchyekrita, before grossification. Srishti, the creation has not yet started. Means 5 elements are not yet created. Leave alone antakarana from 5 elements. How did he do all these things? That is exactly why he is called as who? Sarva Shaktiman. He is Ishvara. Sarva Shaktiman, Sarvadnyaha, Sarva Shaktiman. So there is nothing impossible for Ishvara. He can do Sankalpa without antakarana also. But precisely we should understand these Shrutis. These Shrutis are called what is called as, not only here, in many Upanishads we find this Saikshata, what are called as Ikshana Shrutis. Ikshana Shruti means some observing, let me say, Satapo tapyata bahusyam prajayeti Satapo tapyata. Again afterwards what he did the tapas. All these Shrutis have to be understood properly. It is not literally he felt alone and therefore he said, let me start some krida, a figurative expression as such, and he didn't find anything other than himself. Let me become many. These are called as Ikshana Shrutis. And what is exactly the meaning of Ikshana Shruti is, it is not actually, that means thinking etc. It is the first manifestation or first modification of Maya Prakriti to start the creation. First, that means Maya, look here, Brahma, Advaya Swarupa, Maya Shakti depends on Brahma, Prakriti or Maya Shakti depends on Brahma, but Brahma is independent of Maya Shakti. No creation means what is there only? Brahma only. But the past kalpas, jivas, karma phalas are now demanding a field of experience. Ishvara being karma phal data, he has to create the Jagat. Means now Brahma gets the status of Ishvara, means Maya. What is the Maya Shakti is now slowly operating. Because of Brahma only, the presence of Brahma only. That first modification, the first vritti of Maya or Prakriti. So, before that means actual creation could take place. That is what is called as Ikshana. All Ikshana Shrutis in all Upanishads that are said, including here, figuratively told as, he felt alone, he thought of Srishti Krida, etc. This was Bahusyam, let may be many. All these are Ikshana Shrutis. They only mean the first manifestation or the first modification of Maya, the Prakriti, which is now about to start the creation. And generally an example is given, a seed. a sown seed watered. Now it is just about to germinate. What happens? It swells. Even before just the minutest sprout comes, it swells. Now some people say, so what happens? Brahma with Maya swells. So it is not that swelling there. Then कुछ doctor को बुलाना पड़ेगा. He gets swelling. So that is the first modification. Swelling of the seed is first modification for germination. So also here, now Srishti is about to get created. The first modification, that Maya is what gets modified now, and thereafterward, that slowly Pancha Mahabhuta etc. are born. From that standpoint, Ikshata, it is what he observed. Sankalpa, again, Tatapo Tapyata, not that Ishvara was doing Shirshasana because no, he should do severe tapas. Is it not? Because Srishti creation is not ordinary thing. Tapas is past kalpas knowledge of creation. He just brought things into picture for further creation. So this wording, that means these statements have to be understood properly. There is one text called Sankshepa Sharirakam, which in verses stanza form, the big book as such, it gives the essence of all Brahma Sutras. The topics that are there in Brahma Sutras, its essence it discusses in the verse form without entering into so many other things. There, about this Ikshana Shruti, it makes it very clear. Ikshana, though it is like thinking or that's doing Sankalpa, etc., what exactly is? It is the first modification of Maya or Prakriti just before the actual creation comes into existence. So therefore the Bahusyam etc. have to be taken that way. But we are not able to understand that. So therefore from our own standpoint, Sankalpa, it was made etc. is stood. And nothing more than that. All Ikshana Shrutis involved, whether Aitareya Upanishad or other Upanishads and or here also, all will have to be taken that way only. First modification of Maya Prakriti just before that is creation. And because that Maya is now operating, then what happens? Brahma got the status of being Ishvara. That's it. Take 109. Adhishthānataya Brahma Bhūtātmanyapi tishtati Padmapatre Nirabinduhu Asamslishto yatha tatha. So, though Brahma abides in Bhutatma, Bhutatma is Jivatma, as the very Adhisthana, the very basis of this Jivatma, still he is totally unconnected to all the experiences in terms of Sukha Dukkha or what is called as Samsara. Illustration was that of Padmapatre Nirabinduhu Aslishtaha Yatha Tatha. Just as on the lotus leaf, the drop of water is unable to the leaf wet. So also, Brahma, who is the very basis, Adhisthana of Jivatma, is totally aloof, unconnected to all the experiences or samsara of the Jiva. Even though it is so, as Maya, what Ishvara does, it makes the Jiva take to all functions. Idrishopi Ishvaro Maya Yukta San Prerayatyamum Bhutatmanam Sa Bhutatma Vivinakti-shvaram natam Idrishaha api Ishvaraha Maya yuktaha san amum bhutatmanam prerayati. Amum bhutatmanam prerayati. Saha bhutatma tam Ishvaram na vivinakti. Tam Ishvaram na vivinakti. Idrishaha api Ishvaraha. Even though Ishvara is of this nature, that is, as the Brahma abiding in this embodiment as Adhisthana, and yet not connected to any samsara of this Jivatma. So that is Idrishapi, even of such nature, that Idrisha means asamslishtaha api. Even though of such nature means even though asamslishtaha, not connected to the experiences of Sukha Dukkha of this individual Jiva. Even then Ishvara, even then what does Ishvara do? Ishvaraha Maya Yuktaha San, being endowed with Maya Shakti, the creative power belonging to Ishvara himself. What does he do? Amum Bhutatmanam Prerayati. Amum Bhutatmanam Prerayati prompts this Jivatma to take to its activity. Again, Prerayati also means what? In his presence all these do. That's what we get in Bhagavad Gita also. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani maya. Actually, like this, the person who is sitting on a mechanical device of whirling, like this circus, etc. Not circus, exhibition, fair, etc. You find that. So some device is there, and or somebody turns it, and this horse, etc., wooden horse, etc., children sit there, and they go round and round and round and round. So somebody is operating it. So like that, who does here? Ishvara. Achha. Therefore, who is responsible for all that we have done now? Ishvara. We are not responsible. You commit the mistake of sitting on it. That's you commit the mistake of sitting on it, because the Ishvara is always operating that. Like that. That guy, that he is operating the mechanical device. But why did you sit on that? Likewise, why did you order this embodiment? Why did you order? Karma phalas. Who did? You did or Ishvara did it? Now be honest. You have done it. You have ordered. This device is always there. The moment you have ordered, Antaryami Ishvara is available. You have to, it has to function. That is what it is said. Otherwise, Ishvaraha prerayati, Ishvara prompts. So therefore, if I commit mistake, who is responsible? Ishvara. So not that way. So that means I have ordered the embodiment. Ishvara is there. In his presence, it gets, that is operated. Just as see, electricity makes the fan revolve. But who put the switch on? Who had plugged that? That means in the socket, who has put the plug? That's all. Electricity simply is there. When you have put it on, this device is there, it will operate. So like this device of embodiment you have ordered, it will be always there. What will happen? It will get operated. That is what is said as Prerayati. Or there also in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmayati, Brahmayan sarva bhutani. As though make this all embodiment go round and round in chakkar. So that way, amum bhutatmanam jivatmanam hu ishvaraha prerayati, prompts them to take to action. The sense, without him, without his presence, as the very adhisthana Brahma in embodiment, the jiva cannot function at all. Whereas, what is the plight of this jiva? Saha bhutatma. That bhutatma tam ishvaram na vivinakti. Unfortunately, that bhutatma, jivatma, he doesn't na vivinakti, doesn't ascertain, doesn't know exactly who this Ishvara is. That is na vivinakti, means distinguishing. This is exactly the nature of Ishvara, is unable to find out. So that is tam ishvaram na vivinakti, means is unable to ascertain as to the exact nature of this Ishvara. Then what happens? So this jiva has already got the prakrutehe gunaha in 108. Bhutatma prakrutehe jataihi gunaihi eshaha abhibhuyati. He is overpowered by the prakritis of the gunas of prakriti or maya. What are those? Sattva guna, rajo guna, tamu guna. What exactly happens now? Already he has connected to the, we have put the switch on now. Antaryami Ishvara is always there. So you have ordered this embodiment. Now in his presence, how this embodiment functions in accordance with the guna. Depending on the guna, it does all these things and gets caught up in the samsara. Sukhair Vaishaikai Sattva Gunodbhutai Pratrupyati Udreke Rajasasoyam Kalushi Kriyate Bhrusham Tadani Mati Chanchalyat Lupyate Hekilat Palat Krishim Prakrumyatam Tektva Tapah Kurvan Steje Dadaha Tat Pale Saspruhatvat Vegro Napnotyasau Sukham Ahankarena Baddhasyat Jalena Vihago Yatha Sattva Gunodbhutaihi Vaishayikaihi Sukhaihi Pratrupyati Saha Ayam Rajasaha Rajasaha Soyam Saha Ayam has become Rajasa Soyam Saha Ayam Rajasaha Udreke Bhrusham Kalushi Kriyate Tadani Ati Chanchalyat Chanchalyat Lupyate by Sandhi Chanchalyat Lupyate Tadani Ati Chanchalyat He Akhilat Phalat Lupyate He Akhilat Phalat Lupyate Krishim Prakramya Tam Tektva Tapah Kurvan Taha Tyaje Adaha Tyaje Tatpale Saspruhatvat Asau Vyagraha Add San Sukham Na Apnoti Tatpale Saspruhatvat Asau Vyagraha Add San Sukham Na Apnoti Yatha Vihagaha Jalena Add Tatha Ahankarena Baddhaha Syat Sattva, that means now this, there it was Prakrute 108 Prakrutehe Jataihi Gunaihi Eshaha Abhibhuyate. The Jivatma is overpowered, means is under the control of these gunas which are constituents of our Maya. So how they, what is the result now on account of these gunas in this Jiva? Sattvod gunod bhutaihi vaishayikaihi sukhaihi pratrupyati. When sattva guna is predominant, when he has got sattva guna, he is able to enjoy the sense object. Because some punya also is there, because of which he has got the vishayas. So that way, sattva gunod bhutaihi means sattva gunodreke and udreka. Udreka means active. Udreke sati means when the sattva guna has become active. So sattva gunodbhutaihi means sattva gunodreke sati. So when udreka, that is actual function of sattva guna, takes place. So when sattva guna is predominant and is operating, so then what happens? Vaishayikam sukham jayate. That is what is said there. So what are these? Sense pleasures. They are born. And as a result of this sense pleasure, what happens? He tena pratrupyati. Pratrupyati, prakarshena trupyati. This person rejoices. On account of sattva guna, he is able to get the sense pleasure. And due to sense pleasure, pratrupyati means prakarshena trupyati. This person, individual, rejoices. So on account of Sattva Guna, he is able to get some happiness, joy he is able to get. When the Rajas is functioning, what happens? Let us say. Saha Ayam, the same Jiva who earlier was happy or rejoicing when Sattva Guna was operating. Now what happens? Rajasaha Udreke Sati. When Rajo Guna is active now. Udreke Sati means when it is active. Bhrisham Kalushi Kati. Bhrisham Atyantam, very much, excessively. So what happens to him? Kalushi Kriyati, gets afflicted. Kalusham earlier in some stanza was defined as Kalusham. Adhivyadhi. Earlier somewhere when in the context of Samprasada, Atma is Sakshi in deep sleep state as distinct from gross and the subtle body. In that context, so Adhi Vyadhi were termed as Kalusham. That is, that here Kalushi Kriyate means gets afflicted in terms of Adhi Vyadhi, means all affliction. So when the Rajoguna is operating, this person gets very much afflicted by Adhi Vyadhi. Stanza 44, that Adhi Vyadhi, the Kalusham is Adhi Vyadhi was defined there in stanza 44. So Kalushi Kriyat gets afflicted, means gets subjected to sorrows when the Rajoguna is functioning or it is very active. So what happens at that time? Tadani. Tadani means then. What is that then? Rajogunodreke Sati. When the Rajoguna is active, Ati Chanchalya. Because of the fickleness of the mind, that is, Ati Chanchalya means Asthira Chittaha Chanchalaha Bhavati. Because of the Rajoguna Udreka, because of the operating of Rajoguna, so excessively or predominantly, he becomes Asthira Chittaha. This very unsteady, not able to decide anything. That is definitely Ati Chanchalya. Because of Chanchalata, that fickleness of the mind, what happens to him? He indeed Akhilat Phalat Lupyate. Lupyate, Hiyate, loses. Loses, what does he lose? Akhilat Phala. From this all Phala, result that he could have got, he loses. Means Sarva Vidhadapi Aihikat Phala. Amushmika chhod do. Hereafter of heaven, etc., leave aside. Even here, worldly results that he could have gained, something he could have accomplished here, even that he is unable to accomplish. He loses all the phalas, even that can be accomplished here. Keep aside the amushmika or hereafter like heaven, etc. So when Rajoguna is predominantly active, he loses all accomplishment here and hereafter. How he loses? A demonstration is given. So when Rajoguna Udreka is there, so what exactly happens? That because of this fickleness of mind, the mind which is not steady, a demonstration is given. Krishim Prakramya. So first, this is only a sample, okay? Not that exactly he does like this only. Just a sample. Suppose he thought, nowadays agriculture is good. Income tax also is, I think so. Some concession is there. Income tax also is not there. So therefore, let me start what? So farming, let me start. Okay, sir. Krishim, this is only a sample. Okay. Krishim Prakramya. But afterwards he found that it is very difficult. You can't get servants, etc. So people, actual farmers, you can't, he doesn't know even what, he doesn't know how to handle all this. So therefore he said, and also labor problem and this, etc. What he did was, Tam Tyaktva, he purchased a lot of land, etc. and started and invested so much of money, and halfway what happened? He found that not that easy, or it is not possible. He left it. Tam Tyaktva. Then he said, I think tapas is better, So after all, you have to earn money, etc. By tapas, I can get supernatural powers, etc. And therefore, what is that? Tapaha kurvan. This earlier one, he just a sample. So tapaha kurvan. So that is he does tapas. but the fellow can't get up early at all. So what happened? So he started tapas, but found that it is very difficult and it is beyond his means. Tapat. He said, Adaha Tyaji. That tapa also he gives us. Why? It can be because he can't do, or he got fascinated by some other result. Also here also, what is that? Rishi also he got, that is, maybe he was capable, but he said, after all, what will happen? I will get so much of money, is it not? But tapas is better. I will get respect from people, etc. I can fly in the air also without aeroplane. So I can get the supernatural power. That result is better. So that's what he took to tapas. But afterward, he got fascinated by some other result. So therefore, tapaha, that is because of some phalantara asakti. He is getting attached to some other phala than the phala of the tapas. He was fascinated by that. Adaha Tejit. Halfway he left the tapas also. It is not told. In between he might have taken to sannyas also. Afterward, sannyas ko bhi sannyas de diya. So that even sannyas also he might have left also because of getting attracted by something. It means real spirit of sannyasa was not there when it was taken. So like that anything can be taken. Then what happened? But all along one thing was there. He was like a rolling stone from one to other. But at every juncture, he was fascinated by the result of the thing. Therefore, at every moment, tatpale saspruhatva. Tatpale means tesham pale. Phala of whatever that was told. Krishi, tapa, that is tapa, etc. Whatever that he has taken to. Tatpale saspruhatva. Being totally covetous about that, being interested in that, totally desiring them as such. So what happens? Asau means is bhutatma, jivaha, vagraha, san, all the time being ruffled, agitated, because all the time I should get it, but never stick to that and complete the particular undertaking. So, vagraha, san, sukham na apnoti. Doesn't get an ease, is not happy at all. Doesn't get happiness, is not able to enjoy at all. In this manner, he says, how he is so bound in this affair, yatha, just as yatha, vihagaha, jalin, just as a bird is caught up in the net, so is this individual, ahankarena baddhaha syah. He is totally bound by ahankara. Ahankara identifies the body. Also, along with ahankara, you have to take mamakara, raga, dvesha, all these will have to be taken. So, with ahankara, mamakara, raga, dvesha, all these host of things have to be taken. So, baddhaha, he gets caught up where? In this embodiment and doesn't know tam as a result. Tam Ishwaram na vivinakti, as told in the 110. So, as a result of this, so he is so much engrossed in the embodiment and so much ruffled, unable to ascertain and discover who exactly this Ishvara and how his true nature is identical with true nature of Ishvara. He is unable to discern. So, in this way, so this individual gets subjected to transmigration. So janma after janma, he has to undergo. So now that this jiva gets subjected to transmigration, janma marana, is not something told only in this Upanishad. It is told in many other things also. So that he corroborates with the help of other Upanishads. Samsara Brahmanam Tasya Proktam Shakhantareshvapi Karana Prerakaha Bhutatma Samsaratyayam Tasya Samsara Brahmanam Shakhantareshu api proktam ayam karana prerakaha karta bhutatma samsarati. Ayam karana prerakaha karta bhutatma samsarati. Tasya manaha jivatmana, of that jiva, samsara, that is getting subjected to samsara. So getting caught up in this cycle of samsara is told elsewhere also. Shakhantareshu api proktam. In other shakhas, not simply Maitrayani shakha, in other shakhas also, means other Upanishad also, it is elaborated there. The question is, how is it elaborated? Shakhantareshu, that is in other shakhas, in other Upanishads. So what is told? In nutshell, he is giving us now, in second line. So Shakhantareshu uktasya, whatever that is told in the other shakhas, uktasya, arthataha anuvadaha, means its summary is given in the second line as karana prerakaha, etc. So what is told in the other shakhas? There it is said, ayam means this bhutatma, jivatma, karana preraka, karta bhutatma samsarati. So karana prerakaha, the one who makes the indriyas take to their corresponding function. See, earlier it was told, this bhutatma has got that is avachineshata, a limited mastery, overlordship over this body. Ishvara has got what? Ishata, anavachinna ishata. Whereas this jiva, earlier some stanza it was told, avachineshata, with all these upadhis, he has got a limited mastery over this particular embodiment. So that is what is said. So ayam karana prerakaha, so makes the indriyas take to the corresponding job. For suppose he does some sankalpa, let me have it. He will press the karmendriyas into function. Like that, one who makes the karanas, indriyas take to their corresponding function. And who is the karta bhuta, the karta, the doer of so many things, and also experience of all the samsara. Bhutatma means jivatma. In this manner, samsarati, gets subjected to samsara, gets caught up in the cycle of janma marna, janma marna, janma marna, endless, unless he gets the atma jnana. So in this manner, though antaryami Ishvara or Brahma abides in the body as adhisthana, is totally unconnected to samsara, whereas jiva gets subjected to samsara. This was told earlier. Again it is said because one illustration is going to be given. Just in the context of that illustration, that Brahma, Ishvara, though abiding in the body, is totally free from samsara, is once again told only to elaborate the illustration of Agni Loha, that is the fire, iron and the fire, a red hot iron piece. About that some illustration is going to be given by Shruti. So for that that is reiterated now. You can just see, evam bhutatmanaha samsara brahmanam upapadya. So far what was shown? That bhutatma, evam bhutatmanaha samsara brahmanam upapadya. Having established that, established the samsara in the case of jiva, how he gets subjected to samsara. Tatra, in that upadhi of bhutatma jiva, antaryami rupena vyaptasya chidatmanaha. For that chidatma, who is available in the embodiment of jiva as who? Antaryami. For that antaryami chidatma or Brahma, there is no samsara was shown. Samsara gandhaha api vastutaha nasti. Vastutaha, in reality, samsara gandhaha api nasti. There is no samsara whatsoever. That jiva, that chidatma or Brahma or called Ishvara also abiding in the body is not at all connected to samsara, though this jiva is subjected to samsara. Iti aha is now being told in the next stanza. Why? It was already told in 107 that Chidbimba Brahma is Nirlepa was told. In 107 it was pointed out that Chidbimba Brahma is Nirlepa. It has nothing to do with the karma phalas or the sukha dukkha of the jiva. Yes, it was told. But why it is punaha api? Again it is told, though earlier shrutyuktaha, punaha api shrutyuktaha drishtantopapadanaya. So why it is again told here? Just to make very clear in the context of drishtanta, an illustration that Shruti is going to give us now. In that context, it is said, though antaryami, with Siddhatma only, as Ishvara, abiding in the embodiment, not at all connected to samsara. That is once again reiterated here to make very clear about the drishtanta illustration that is going to come now. Chaitanyena hi purnena sontar vyaptastatashchitihi bhrantyaropena samsaraha tatra saunatu vastavaha saha purnena chaitanyena hi antarvyaptaha. Saha purnena chaitanyena hi antarvyaptaha. Tataha. Tatra. Second line is there. Tatra. Tataha. Thereafter. Tatra in second line. Again come to first line. Last word. Chitihi. Chiti. Not chitihi. Chiti. Tataha. Tatra. Chiti, locative of chit, chiti, bhrantyaropena samsaraha add bhati. Bhrantyaropena samsaraha add bhati. Asau tu vastavaha na. Asau tu vastavaha na. Saha bhutatma jivatma jiva, individual. Purnena chaitanyena hi antaha vyaptaha. In the case of jivatma, in his embodiment, in and through what is permeating? Chaitanya. Ishvara means here Chaitanya. Chaitanya, Ishvara as antaryami. And what is antaryami? Antaha san yamayati. Being within, who controls. Controls here in the sense, makes the embodiment take to all different functions. That is what is controlling them. So in Brihadaranyaka there is one section called as Antaryami Prakarana. Antaryami, that is what Prakarana. How Ishvara, being abiding in the individual, makes them take to different functions. So that way, Saha Bhutatma Purnena Chaitanyena hi antaha vyapta. Purnena Chaitanya means Chaitanya in its true nature. As antaryami, though it is too full and complete with that. So what happens? Tataha. Tataha means therefore. Therefore means because he is totally permeated by who? Antaryami, Chaitanya or Ishvara. Tataha. Tatra. Tatra means in that embodiment. No, not in embodiment. Tatra chiti. In that chiti, it means Chaitanya. In the Chaitanya. In the Chaitanya, which has permeated this Bhutatma, this Jiva, in that chiti, Tataha means therefore. Because this Chaitanya permeates this Jiva, therefore, in that Chaitanya, chiti, what does it do? Bhrantyaropena samsaraha bhati. What appears there is? Samsaraha bhati. As though samsara belongs to whom? That Chaitanya. How? Really doesn't belong to the Chaitanya. Bhrantyaropena. Because of aropa, superimposition, mistaken attribution due to error, bhranti. Not knowing the swarupa of Chaitanya, free from this, identifying with the embodiment, all those sukha dukkha experiences at the level of upadhi embodiment are falsely attributed or superimposed on Chaitanya. That is what is said as Chiti Chaitanya Bhrantyaropena samsaraha bhati. But this samsara appears to be there in Chaitanya is really speaking not true. In reality, it is not there. So he says, Asau. Asau means this samsaraha. Tu. to show the contrast of actual experience, but the fact is different. In contrast to the actual experience, wherein Sukha Dukkhatmaka Samsara appears to belong to whom? Chaitanya. In reality, to Vastavahana, that samsara really is not there as far as the Chaitanya is concerned. That samsara doesn't belong to whom? Chaitanya. So, in reality, that Chaitanya Antaryami is totally aloof from samsara. So this is said. So to show that now, how samsara doesn't belong to Chaitanya, but how it was. Jiva suffers the samsara and undergoes transmigration from Janma, Marana in terms of 84 lakhs of species, yonis. That means he roams around or wanders in them. For this, to make it clear, so the illustration of that is fire and iron is given. The actual illustration like this. The blacksmith takes the piece of iron and heats it and makes it red hot. Then what does he do? When it is red hot, he goes on hammering to make different instruments. Sickle, axe, like this, he goes on making. Now, when he is hammering, so that means hammering and giving different shape. So, does the fire get afflicted? Who exactly changes? The iron piece, is it not? Like that, in this embodiment, in and through, what is that? Chaitanya is there. This body embodiment is totally permeated by Chaitanya. And because of the hammering of the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, what happens? This Jiva goes on taking different shape in the sense, different embodiments in 84 lakhs of species. But as far as the Chaitanya is concerned, unaffected like the fire. That is what is now shown with the help of this illustration. Drishtantotragnina vyaptaha loha pindobhidhiyate tapta loham mudgarena katam bahuvidham bhaved. In many the ekaras are missing, but just see, while hearing you can correct. I think Mudgarena ekara is missing, I believe. Is it? Or it is there? Light, okay, take it. Ahankare chidabhasaha bhutatma sakshi bhasitaha anyamano gunai sattvadi Anyamano gunai sattvadihi bahuvidho bhave yajjanma yoni lakshanam bhave chaturashitishu soyam bahuvidho bhavaha lohe datra kutharavat. Atra agnina vyaptaha loha pindaha iti drishtantaha abhidiyate iti to be added. Atra agnina vyaptaha loha pindaha add iti drishtantaha abhidiyate add yatha taptaloham mudgarena hatam bahuvidham bhave. Then add tatha for next stanza. Tatha ahankare add yaha sakshi bhasitaha chidabhasaha. Sakshi bhasitaha chidabhasaha add saha bhutatma add akhyaha. Chidabhasaha add saha bhutatma add akhyaha. Sattvadibhihi gunaihi hanyamanaha bahuvidaha bhavet. Bahuvidaha bhavet. Atra. So atra means how this Jivatma gets subjected to change, but Chaitanya Antaryami is all the time without any change whatsoever in this context. Agnina Vyaptaha Lohaha iti Drishtanta. This illustration of the Loha, the iron, being totally permeated by what? The fire. Agnina Vyaptaha Lohaha iti means of such nature, of this particular illustration, Drishtantaha, Abhidhiyati is cited. This is given by Shruti itself. And Shruti only has given this. It means Prajapati himself is telling this to Valakhilya. Abhidhiyati is cited. So how is that this Drishtanta? Let us see. Yatha, just as Taptaloham, the iron that is red hot now, that is, it is heated to become red. Mudgarena hatam beaten by Mudgarena means hammer. By hammer it is beaten. Bahuvidham bhavi, the blacksmith goes on hammering the iron which is red hot to give different shapes. He knows how to give that, where to hammer, etc. That he knows. So if we hammer, what will happen? First thing, we will not be able to lift that hammer. That is a different thing. Afterward, we will distort it, but it may not be of whatever required shape. But if we know, we can do also. So that is what the thing is. So earlier, that piece of iron that was there, now it has changed its shape. By what? Hammering. That's what we want. So that by Mudgarena hatam, beaten by that hammer, Bahuvidam bhavit, it becomes different. It becomes of different form, means it takes different form. In the same manner, Tatha, she says, Ahankare sakshi bhatit bhasitaha chida yaha chida bhasaha. Ahankare yaha, in Ahankara. So, earlier what was, how Bhutatma was this defined? In Bhautika Ahankara, 107 I believe. In Bhautika Ahankara, whatever Chaitanya is Pratibimbita, that is what is Jivatma. We have seen, means what all it involves. Adhisthana Chaitanya, plus Linga Sharira, plus Chidabhasa in the Linga Sharira. All these things are involved there. So 107 I will. So, that is Ahankari, Yaha, Ahankari means Antakana comes in picture there. So whatever that is, what is it? Sakshi bhasitaha chidabhasaha. Reflected Chaitanya. On account of who? Sakshi. The word Sakshi, Chaitanya available in this embodiment. So illumined or made illumined by who? Sakshi. That reflected Chaitanya chidabhasa, whatever that is there. Saha. And what it is called? Saha Bhutatmakhyaha, who is called as Bhutatma as defined in stanza 107. So that one, what happens now, is being beaten. But by what is he beaten? Not by hammer. If by hammer is beaten, then criminal case it will be. So that's different thing. So Sattvadibhi Gunaihi Hanyamana. Being beaten means subjected to. So Sattvadibhi Gunaihi. So Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. What happens? Bahuvidaha, Bhavi. He becomes of different form means, what is that become? He becomes of different form or different types. What is that becoming of different types will be explained in the 108. Means taking different types of upadhis. And any upadhis from choice is how much? 84 lakhs of, I think no departmental stores can offer this choice for one and the same thing. So 84 lakhs of species that are there. But choice is how? Not that you go and pick up. If one goes and picks up, what will one pick up? Everyone will pick up Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha's embodiment, I don't know whether Hiranyagarbha's embodiment is one of the 84 lakhs also, I don't know. Maybe must be, because it also, he is Prathamajaha. Firstborn, it may be also. So not that way. It is determined by Yatha Karma, Yatha Phalam. According to one's Karma Phalas and Upasana Phalas. That is where comes hammering of the Sattva Adi Guna. Means this person, That means depending on sattva guna predominance or rajoguna predominance or tamoguna predominance, does different things. As a result, he earns the karma phalas, and according to the result come good sadyonis or sadasadyonis or asadyonis. Gita puts in three ways. Here sadasad, that sad and asad was told. Other was that as for the earth it was told sad and asad. For other, heaven and hell was told. Bhagavad Gita puts it sadyonis. Sadyonis that are heavenly embodiment. Asadyonis, animal and hellish embodiment. Sadasadyoni, human embodiment. So like this, varieties of embodiment, three categories are made. So that means, as per the karma phalas, he orders the embodiment. That is what is said. And why he should earn those karma phalas? That type of karma he took to. Now, good, bad or otherwise karmas, why did it take to? Because of prompting of sattva-guna, etc. Depending on that, he has taken. There comes one's own effort, self-effort, etc. comes in picture. Self-effort, that evaluation of the world, that this conducting oneself as dharma, etc., adharma, all these come in picture. So which are all governed by sattva-guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, depending what the case is. So therefore, so that sattvadibhi gunaihi hanyamanaha bahuvidaha bhavet becomes manifold, means that he takes to different types of embodiment. What is that bahuvida bhavanam of bhutatma? Jivatma being manifold, what exactly it is explained in the 118th stanza, next stanza. Yat chaturashitishu yoni lakshanam janma bhavi. Whatever the janma, the birth is there in what? Chaturashitishu yoni lakshanam janma. Whatever the 84 lakhs of species, means types of births are there. 84 lakhs of species are there. Saha ayam. So that is what means taking those embodiments. God means not all as such. So depending on karma phalas and upasana phalas, that whatever that is suited to that particular karma phala, upasana phala, one takes to. So that is what is bahuvida bhavanam. Becoming manifold means taking to new embodiments as ordered by one's own karma phalas and upasana phalas. As Kathopanishad puts it, yatha karma, yatha shrutam. In accordance with the karma phalas and in accordance with shrutam means upasana phalas. In this manner, saha ayam bahuvidaha bhavaha. This is what is that the statuses of becoming different types. So saha ayam bahuvidaha bhavaha, that bahuvida bhavanam, for whom? Jivatma, bhutatma. So bhava means varieties, types of existences, in existence in the sense that we are taking varieties, types of embodiment, like lohe datra kutharavat. As in the case of the iron which is heated to become red, datra kutharavat. Datra is sickle, kuthara is axe. So just as the same iron piece becomes of different form depending on how it is hammered, so also depending on how this jivatma is hammered by sattva-guna, rajoguna, tamoguna in terms of actions, karmas, upasanas, and the result takes to these varieties of embodiment. That taking to varieties of embodiment is called as bahuvida bhava, the becoming many of one and the same bhutatma. So it means in short, what is meant by 116 to 18 is agnina vyaptaha ayah pindaha. Simple it is. Just as this ayah pinda, which is this piece of iron, agnina vyaptaha. Yatha agnina vyaptaha ayah pindaha yatha mudgarena taditaha. Hammered by mudgara, hammer. What happens? Datra kutaradi rupena bahuvidaha bhavet. Takes different form. Bahuvidaha bhavet means becomes of many forms, means takes different form. What type? Datra kutaradi rupena, like sickle, axe, knife, like this. It takes different shapes. Evam, in the same manner, sattvadi gunatraya sambandhena, because of sambandha, connection to gunas like sattva adi gunatraya sambandhena, who ayam bhutatma, this bhutatma, jivatma, chaturashiti lakshayonishu, in 84 lakhs of species, chaturashiti lakshayonishu janma prapnoti ityartha, he takes the janma. So that is what is it. So this bhutatma, jivatma gets subjected to all these yonis, and that is how he is totally bound, as though helpless. Though in reality who is he? Chaitanya, Bimba, Antaryami, Parameshwara only, but because of identification, the embodiment, so appears to take all these embodiment. So, but and it by mistake it is attributed to whom? Chaitanya only. Really, it doesn't belong to Chaitanya. Our true nature has nothing to do whatsoever with this embodiment. Same thing. How he is helpless? Let us see now. Again, it is explained with the help of illustration. Kulalena yatha chakram tatha mayavina gunaha satvadaya preritasyuhu taischa janmanyanekadha lohe mudgara ghatena nagnir badhastatha gunaihi bhutatmopadravenasya sakshino nastyupadravaha yatha kulalena chakram and preritam tatha, yatha kulalena chakram preritam tatha, preritam to be added, tatha mayavina add ishwarena, mayavina add ishwarena, satvadayaha, second line, satvadayaha, again first line, gunaha preritaha syuhu, satvadayaha gunaha preritaha syuhu taischa anekadha janmani bhavanti, bhavanti to be added, taischa anekadha janmani bhavanti lohe mudgara ghatena, lohe mudgara ghatena agnehe badhaha na, na agnehe nagne, agnehe badhaha na tatha gunaihi bhutatmopadravena asya upadravaha, asya sakshinaha, after asya sakshinaha, asya sakshinaha upadravaha na asti, bhutatmopadravena asya sakshinaha upadravaha na asti. So illustration is that of Kulala Chakra. Kulala Chakra means a pot maker turning the wheel. So like that, here by Mayavi Ishvara, so that these gunas are operated, and what happens? This Jiva gets subjected to samsara. We'll see.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तः न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।